Okay, good morning. So we're up to a new simon, Shin Ayin Hey. Now, to start this simon, let's go to the Hakdama, which he's got in footnote number 1. So the Hakdama says as I Shinu be'ervin. We have learned in Erevin, Pei Gimel Amud Beis, Anshe Chotze v'Anshe Mirpeses sheshakchu v'lo irvu. It says over there in Erevin that Anshe Chotze and Anshe Mirpeses. If you look at the picture in picture number 1, where you've got a ground floor chotzer, and you've got batim on the chotzer, and then you've got the bnei aliyah, and you've got a mirpeset, you've got a balcony over there with a ladder going down. So the Gemara says over there, I'm reading from footnote number 1. Kol shegoyva yut tfachim mirpeses. Anything which is within 10 tfachim of the mirpeses, pachos mekan chotzer. Anything which is more than 10 tefachim belongs to the mirpeset, and anything which is less goes to the chotzer. Ubiyu hamusug mirpeses, kosav Rashi sham, shebonu aliyah al habatim. They build an aliyah on top of batim shebechotzer. Uba'id mekomis diyorim. So we're describing that picture. Upischei harbe aliyos hay psuchas lemirpeses arucha. Lemirpeses zu mechubas sulam she'omi bechotzer lemata umimenu oil lemirpeses v'laliyah shepsuchas aliyah kazu. So he's describing that picture, right? So you've got the chotzer, and you've got the batim at the bottom, and then you've got the mirpeset with the houses on the top. B'simen zen isparu kama dinim hanoigim lemirpeses zu. In this simon, we're going to describe lots of halachas related to this structure, this idea. Aleph, sha'achotzer v'amirpeses nechshavim k'shtei chatzeros. That the two are considered as two separate chatzeros. So just like we've been talking about till now, two chatzeros next to each other, this structure of the chotzer with the first floor and the second floor is considered like shtei chatzeros. V'losulam yesh din Pesach, and the ladder has got a din of a Pesach sheben hachotzer lemirpeses. V'kiven shehama'aver la'aliyos hu derech hachotzer, since the way out is through the chotzer. They're going to be situations where the bnei mirpeses, the upper guys, are going to asa on the lower people. When they don't make a joint eruv together with the downstairs and the upstairs people, and there is joint communal area. There's sometimes one has preference over the other one. So sometimes they're going to be, one is going to be okay and the other not, and sometimes both are going to be osa. So we'll see the details. But that's the concept, that's the background, if you like, to this simon. Okay, says the Mechaber. Mirpeses, shehu derech la'aliyos psuchim lo. So the Mechaber is going to be describing this picture. Mirpeset, you've got a balcony, shehu derech la'aliyos hapsuchim lo, which is a way for people to get to which is open to people on the upper floor. V'omedes b'chotzer, and it's situated in a chotzer. V'oidim lo b'sulam, and you get up to the mirpeses by way of a ladder. U'bnei ha'aliyos yordim imenu l'chotzer v'oivrim l'shesarabim, and then people in the upper floor, in the balcony, the upper floor, go down the ladder and through into the chotzer, out into the Rosh Hashanah. Einam oisrim al bnei chotzer. They don't ask on the bnei chotzer. Why? The sulam teras pesach olov. The sulam has got the status of a ladder. V'havik kashtei chatzeros, and therefore it's got the status of two chatzeros, or pesach beinehem, and therefore we just look at it as if they're next to each other, like we've discussed previously. She'em rotzu ma'arvim yachad, im rotzu kol echad ma'arv la'atzma. And they get the choice. They're treated like two chatzeros, and they can choose. Either they make an independent eruv at the top and an independent eruv at the bottom, or they make one joint eruv for both of them. Ubilvad she'ya'arvu kol b'nei mirpeset la'atzmon kadei shetei regal muteres m'koyma. So long as she'ya'arvu all the b'nei mirpeset join in. And not just some. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem that if some don't join in, then they're going to restrict on the lower chevra. Okay, says the Mishnah Berurah. Einam oisrim al bnei chotzer. Kashelo ervu yachad. They're not going to asa on the bnei chotzer when they don't make one combined eruv for the bnei aliyah and for the bnei downstairs. The bnei aliyahs make their own one, and the bnei hachotzer make their own one. They're not like the bnei chotzer where some do and some don't, and therefore they ask on each other. The chiddush is they're treated as two separate chatzeros, and they're not like one big chotzer where if some do and some don't, that asks on all of them. So we're talking about a situation when the mirpeses there in the picture is more than 10 tefachim from the chotzer, then it's just, we ignore it and it's just treated as one big chotzer. And therefore, when the upper ones make their own eruv and the lower ones make their own eruv, then that allows them to take the kli bayis to the chotzer. V'chein kli aliyah l'merpeses and the kalim from the upper house storers, they can take that onto the merpeses. Avol klei habayis l'merpeses, but for the lower guys to take their kalim from the house onto the merpeset, or kli aliyah l'chotzer, or the kli aliyah of the chotzer. The kli aliyah, the kalim from the upper houses down into the chotzer, asa kivin shelo ervu yachad. Yes, again, so if you look at the picture, you've got a lower floor, the bnei chotzer, and you've got the bnei aliyah. So if they each made their own eruv, so their own eruv allowed the upper chevra to take kalim from their homes onto the merpeset, and it allowed the lower chevra, the bnei chotzer, to carry out into the chotzer. But it does not allow the lower chevra to take things up into the merpeses, and it doesn't allow the upper guys to take things down into the chotzer, because they did not make one combined joint eruv. So long as all the people in the upper ones joined in, or all the people in the lower ones joined in. That means to say, because if they didn't make it, and therefore it's us's in the upper place, you can't use the merpeses there at all, then it's us's on the chotzer to take their kalim out into the house. Because the chevra in the merpeses, their only way out into the rishus rabim is via the chotzer. It's like where you've got an inner chotzer and an outer chotzer. The only exit route is via the chotzer chitzona. To Chaim and Shimon Ein Ches, bnei chotzer pnimi lo every last one. If the bnei pnimi didn't make their own one, to have a regular surbim koma, and therefore it asses on the inner one. It asses on the outer one as well. So in other words, we've learned a few things here. Number one, that the upper one made their own eruv, the lower one made their own eruv. And B, all the chevra of the upper one were joined in. Because if some didn't, then that restricts on the upper one. And if it restricts on the upper one, it restricts on the lower one as well. Okay, base. Im lo irvu yachat. If they did not make one combined eruv, v'yesh b'chotzer tel amud shel meshutav ben shneim, and you've got like this pillar which is standing in the chotzer. Im einam gevei masar tefachim, and it's not so tall; it's less than 10 tefachim. Harin nechshavim b'nei chotzer ben harpeses v'shnei atzurim lehoisisham kelim shebatim. Then it's considered in between; it's considered jointly owned, and therefore, because they didn't make one combined eruv, it's also for people to put their kelim on this tal, on this pillar. But if it's very tall and it's more than 10 tefachim, and it's within 10 tefachim of the merpeses, and it's not too far away from the merpeses, then b'nei merpeses mutarim. Then the b'nei merpeses can use it and can put their things on the tel, on this pillar, because it's an easier usage than the chevra in the chotzer. But if it's too distant from the merpeses, then it's no good. Even if it's 10 tefachim high, then it's not going to be functional. Says the Mishnah, says the Ramah, or the bracket there, because it's even though it's 10 tefachim tall, it's just too far away from the merpeses for easy use. And then it will be part of the chotzer and the merpeses, because both of them have equal access by throwing things on top of it. And then, if that's the situation, then both of them will not be allowed to put their things on that tel unless they make an eruv together. Okay, says the Mishnah, Ben Shneihem, because if it belonged to one of them, it just belongs to one of them, and then it doesn't ask on the others. Now the klal is this, says Mishnah Berurah Sif Cotton Hey. which we've had before. Whenever one party can use it easily, and the other one with more difficulty, we only give it, we assign it to the one who can use it easily, and the other one can't answer it. But both have equal access and usage of it. Whether it's equally easy or equally difficult, it belongs to both. Since it belongs to both, then they're not allowed to put things on that tell because they didn't make a joint eruv. That's mispoa b'gemara. That the Gemara explains. The kol shetzarich l'tashmish zrika. Anything which you need to throw it on it to use it. Da'inu she'atel ha'amud gavoya mimenu asar tefachim. V'tzarich lizrek sham. It's higher than 10 tefachim. Therefore, the only way to put things on it is to throw it on there. Shetzarich shtilshul. You've got to lower things on it. Da'inu she'hamakam ha'u namach mimenu asar tefachim. It's more than 10 tefachim below you. You've got to lower things onto it. Calls them mikra. That's not an easy usage. Then it's less than 10 tvachim, then it's easy to put on it. Sometimes it's called difficult. Even if it's less than 10 tvachim, because it's just too far away from the mirpeses, and to get there, you've got to throw it, which makes it a tashmish kasha. When you have a situation where it's noach for both of them to use it, because they didn't make an eruv together, that asses both of them to use it. Also, you notice because if it's lower, then you'd give it to the bnei chotzer. Why? Because for the lower guys it's easy usage, and for the upper guys it's hard usage. So therefore we assign it to the lower guys, and it won't asa if they didn't make the eruv together. Okay, then continues the Mishnah Berurah Zayin. This is going on the still the Mechabo. Shnei masurim lahoitzi sham kelim shebebatim. Specifically where it's close to the Repeses 4 Tvachim, like we said before, because if this tell is more than 4 Tvachim away, for the usage by the Bnei Merpeses is going to be very difficult. And therefore you'll assign it to the Bnei Chotzer. Because if it was more than 10 from the Merpeses, then it's going to be difficult for both of them. Then it's going to be assigned to the Merpeses. But since the actual tell is further away from the Merpeses, and if the Chevra at the upper floor want to use it, Hurak Adadei Zrika, the only way to use this tell is by throwing things on it. Mikri Tashmisha Gamkein Bekasha, Zemach Maskava, Zemach Masruchake. For the lower ones, it's kasha because it's too high, and for the upper ones, it's kasha because it's too far away. V'toich Asar lemerpeses, v'im hoyu nemuchim asar tefachim gam me'amerpeses, yesh de'es me'aposim. In other words, if it's nomuch from the 10 tefachim from the merpeses as well, then you've got two different days in the poskim. What are they? Yesh oimrim dekivin shel abal hamerpeses yesh dei reusa. For the upper guys, they've got two deficiencies. Number one, shenemuchim asar, is lower than 10. For gamma flogim abrat tefachim, it's further away. So I've got two problems. Imkein tashmish shel anshe achotzer noach yosesham v'noisim osolahem. And they say, therefore, since the lower ones have got a slightly easier access, they use it. V'yesh oimrim dekivin shel achotzer nami geva asar tefachim. Since for the bnei chotzer it's also higher than 10 tefachim. Mikru l'shneim tashmish bekashin v'oisrim zeh. At the end of the day, it's also difficult for them. All right, I think it's a good place to stop, and we'll start from Bur in Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. Okay, Beseder. Call to everyone. See you. Have a good day. Okay. Shocking, the whole thing, isn't it?
Did you hear it last night?
Didn't hear it. Chaim heard it.
Thank you.
See you, Eleanor. Have a good day. Be well.
Yeah, she went off from there. I didn't hear what she said.
It's such a riches to get ambulances.
happened in Australia. They burnt big time and then they shut like burnt the shores and everything, so they started shooting. So. Huh? It's the Iranian state. That's the question. Of course it's the Iranian state. I'm desperate.